Okay, so this is an MRI of a crazy pancreatic mass. You can see it looks very cystic, but it's also very lobulated, and these are actually all dilated side branches. So the entire pancreatic duct and all of its side branches are dilated, and these are all papillary fronds in here. So this the diagnosis for this patient is a pancreatic adenocarcinoma, but we think that this was in the setting of a main duct IPMN. And they also have liver metastases. So just going to the post-contrast images. You can see kind of all this evil gray in these papillary fronds. So all of this was enhancing tumor inside that main duct IPMN. The liver lesions were also kind of hypoenhancing. So one of the questions that came up was, why doesn't it look more inflamed, more like papillary? And there's actually 4 different types of IPMNs you can get. They're gastric, of the tumors you can get, which are gastric, oncocytic, intestinal, and pancreatico-biliary. And each of them leads to a different type of cancer, and they have different prognoses. So for example, I distinguish between these on imaging, but one of the points is that some of the malignancies that arise in these IPMNs actually have a much better prognosis than the regular pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. So this one, even though it's so extensive and it has a couple of liver mets, the reason it may have been able to grow so extensively is because it was one of these ones with low-grade dysplasia and only a smaller component of invasive adenocarcinoma. Yeah.
Do they do well, like stage by stage, or do they do better because, they're not as by the time you get them, you're able?
I don't know. It's actually very confusing because the 4 different types of IPMN tumors that arise in IPMNs have different rates of low-grade, intermediate-grade, and high-grade dysplasia, and then they turn into different adenocarcinomas. So I told you those 4 names, like the oncocytic, intestinal, gastric. Those turn into different adenocarcinomas that include like colloid versus pancreatic ductal. So it really depends on. Some of them tend to do better than the ones that start off as pancreatic ductal, but it's not really something we can tell preoperatively. But when they get the path back, the ones that have this more low-grade dysplasia and these better initial precursor lesions tend to do better, and they're less aggressive than regular adenocarcinomas. So in general, when an adenocarcinoma arises in an IPMN, that's actually a better overall prognosis than if it just arose from a pancreatic ductal.